Recording on here. All right, y'all. So the Royal Rumble predictions went as follows: Jordan 6, Angie 2. So you know what that means.
Hold on. No. Hold on. I did not get no 2.
Yes, you did.
Okay. So what was the card again? I predicted Sheamus. Sheamus won.
Sheamus won. I said Shorty G won.
Okay. That was one.
So that was one.
Right.
I said that Drew was gonna win.
Okay.
I said that Bayley was gonna win. I said
Bayley was gonna win too. So that's 1-2. I said Asuka was gonna win. That was a fail.
I said Becky.
1-2. I said 2. That's 2.5 because Drew was my thing, my dark horse.
I remember the Royal Rumble thing we both got wrong.
The women's Rumble we both got wrong. The men's Rumble I got right. A whole point and I got half a point because he was my dark horse.
Right.
And then every other like what was it? The women's matches, like I got one right and the other wrong. And then there was like another match. We both said The Fiend, right?
Yeah. No. I said The Fiend. You didn't say The Fiend.
What did I say?
I think you said Daniel.
I did not say Daniel Bryan.
Either way, you lost. So
either way, I did. But I said, that's whatever.
Hoobity hoopla!
Live from Brooklyn, New York. Come on, whoa! You're listening to the Culture 316 podcast.
What's going on, everybody? This is your boy, Jay the Creative.
I'm drinking ginger ale.
That's Angelo Carter, and welcome to another episode of Culture 316, where we look
the best ginger ale,
where we look to push the culture and conversation of professional wrestling into the 21st century.
You haven't taught me that yet, because every time I produce the show, I'd be like, yeah, and we're going to the first thing.
Every time you produce a show, we really just like it'd be such a loaded show that we just got to get to it.
That's true.
But anyway, we do still have a lot to talk about. First things first, got to get this out the way, even though we kind of talked about it briefly on the Culture page. Well, before I start this, I want to thank everybody who's listening on everywhere podcast or stream. If you're watching on via Facebook Live, if you're watching via YouTube Live, we thank you. Be sure to comment and tag people, share it, share the word. The second thing is that we do want to send our prayers and condolences to the Bryant family. Last Sunday, Kobe Bryant, NBA legend and icon, passed away at the age of 41 along with his daughter, who was 13 years old, Gianna Bryant. Them alongside 7 other passengers aboard a helicopter. They all passed away, and it was outside of the LA area. It's been a very, very surreal week in sports because of it. Because, Kobe, regardless of if you watch basketball or not, you know who Kobe Bryant is.
Yeah.
And he was an icon. He was a legend. So we definitely want to send our condolences to those affected by that tragedy, and we stand by the Bryant family as well as Laker Nation, and we love you, Kobe. But we're going to get right into the show with our trending wrestling topic. On January 31st, WWE opened up their business day with an immense stock drop of 27% following the release of their co-presidents George Barrios and Michelle Wilson. WWE is reported to announce their quarter four earnings for 2019, which have reportedly totaled up to $180 million, which is below their projected $190 million. Also, fair to note that analysts said they were going to make $186 million. So they're below the projected by analysts, and they're below the projected by the company. It is rumored that the release of the co-presidents will be used as a scapegoat to stockholders, but more importantly, what impact do you see this having on the company as a whole?
I don't really pay attention to numbers like that.
Right.
So I'm going to be completely honest with you. I don't know. I mean, it can't be good that their co-presidents were like laid off or whatever. I don't know why, So whatever happened. I don't want to say, I can't really say anything bad because I don't know what happened.
Right.
But as far as them being released, it can't really be good. But I'm sure they'll find other people who will be able to run the company. Those are two people that if you just watch WWE, you didn't really pay attention to who they were, and that's me not me trying to say anything bad,
right?
But you didn't really know who they were. I knew who they were because I
You know
did a
WWE.
project on WWE a few years ago, and I knew who they were. But like, if you're just a person who watches wrestling, everyone thinks that okay, it's Vince McMahon and a bunch of stockholders. You know what I'm saying?
Right,
Like that's
right.
what you think. So as far as I'm concerned, I mean, I feel like WWE bounces back from stuff like this really quickly.
Right.
So they'll probably find 2 more people to be co-presidents, or they'll find a main president of the company, and yeah.
Right.
I mean, they just signed a 5 million.
5-year
They
$1
signed
billion.
a 5-year deal for $1 billion with Fox. Like they're not losing any money anytime soon.
Right.
Only place I can see them losing money is that damn video game, which still sucks. So,
2K, right?
like, as far as I'm concerned, I don't see anything bad happening.
Right. I mean, to kind of piggyback off of your point, WWE does bounce back from this stuff pretty regularly. Plus, earnings were never really up in the fourth quarter for WWE. It's just like a trend. It's just like a pattern. They're not usually up in the fourth quarter. Do I know why? No. But they also announced 5 new signings today, so clearly they have the capital to sign new talent.
5 new
talent.
signings?
Yeah, 5 new signings.
They announced that? Oh, I was at work.
Yeah, there's 5 new signings. They're I'm not gonna say they're relatively unknown, but they are pretty like up and coming indie names. I don't think WWE's gonna be fazed by this. I mean, if anything, they are.
The entertainment side,
Exactly.
probably wouldn't be fit. The business side, maybe, yeah.
Yeah, business side definitely. I
But
could
the
definitely,
entertainment
I could definitely see them making a good amount of cuts. As far as employees, they do have temporary employees, and because of that, you can see them kind of ending off some contracts. Just to kind of cut back and at least
see that happening. Maybe.
just until they bounce back, and then they'll be back on the rehiring wave. But as far as like this having a major impact, it's not going to have a major impact. WWE is swimming in money right now between the deal they have with USA, the deal they have with Fox, the deals that they have with their distribution partners all over the world.
The network is doing pretty well.
The network is doing pretty well. So I mean, like they're not going to be hit super hard.
Right, and WrestleMania is coming up. It's probably going to do bananas for Tampa. So,
Absolutely.
like, I mean, come on now.
They'll be all right. They'll be all
Exactly.
right. But if you believe any different, we recommend that you comment below and tell us how you feel. All right. And here we have a brand new segment that I developed, which is called Hot Spots, where we break down the 3 most memorable moments of a big wrestling pay-per-view. So we're going to start with number 3, and it's kind of like a merger of 2 moments. # Black Girl Magic. At the Royal Rumble, we witnessed, was it Bianca Belair's debut?
No. She was in last year's Women's
She
Rumble.
was in last year's Rumble, but she entered in at number 2 and had a really solid standout performance. But we also saw the return of the neon, Feel the Glow Lioness, Naomi, and all of her natural hair glory.
Her afro.
Yo, and I loved every single second of it.
Every bit of it.
Every single
Sis
bit.
is she went completely viral, which we'll address later on.
Absolutely.
Like for real.
For
but
real,
like,
for real.
Sis got people who don't watch wrestling talking about something. Yeah, I'm about to watch wrestling now. It's the power of the melanin.
Power of the melanin. But how did you feel about Bianca's performance as a number 2 entrant, and how did you feel about the return of
I
Naomi?
just realized, right? I texted this in the Culture 316 chat. I said, Bianca really uses her braid to whip these white people.
Amen.
She really uses her braids
to whip.
like like a braid to whip these white people and black people too, but these white people.
White people.
Like I'm just like,
Praise God.
we stand you. Like, first of all, that woman is a star. She's so good. Like, she just she exudes confidence.
Absolutely.
She exudes just star power. She
has
there, and she has it.
She has it.
She has it. And I'm just like, she's had it since I first seen her, but she has it. Like, she is so great. And I can't wait until she comes up to the main roster. I definitely think that we get her on the main roster after WrestleMania. If it's SmackDown, Raw, whatever, just put her where Sasha Banks is. And I definitely think that Bianca Belair is going to be a champion, on the main roster before 2020 is over. I'm calling it out now. But as far as Naomi goes, sis. We all knew We all knew she was pretty much coming back for the Rumble because the Usos came back like 3 or 4 weeks ago.
Right.
We were waiting on Naomi. Like, all right, sis, like, where you at? What's happening? So I think it's pretty obvious that she goes to SmackDown.
Yeah.
She comes back, and I think soon we really should get like a Sasha Naomi full proper rivalry. Like, I'm ready for it. Like, I think Naomi really just showed up and showed completely out.
Yeah.
And we stand.
Yeah.
To see, sorry, and then we'll move on.
You're good.
To see a black woman, right? First of all, one black woman absolutely dominate this match. I love the part where Alexa's like using her hair and Bianca just, oh, okay, blink up, and pulls her braid back and knocks Alexa out of the ring. Thought that was a great spot, absolutely great. But to see a black woman with her natural afro out,
Yes.
in a big show, like, it's not WrestleMania, but it's the Rumble. Like,
It's the
people
Rumble.
watch the Royal Rumble.
Right.
So to see that, the amount of young black people, because boys and girls alike, but more importantly, young black women, to see that
It's important.
is important.
Very
Representation matters. And to have Bianca be in there for 33 minutes and have the tied highest count of eliminations with Shayna Baszler, that's incredible.
Right.
Starting off as number 2, and I think she got eliminated 30 minutes into the match, but she has 8 eliminations. She was absolutely in there dominating. We love to see it.
We love to see it. I really don't have anything else to say about that because you kind of covered it all. But we're going to just move to the number 2 hot spot, which is Drew wins. Drew McIntyre has won the 2020 Men's Royal Rumble and will challenge Brock Lesnar for the WWE World Championship at WrestleMania 36. So I want to know, just like the whole Brock build-up, Drew throwing him over the top rope. What do you think that this means?
So I didn't watch the whole Rumble. I left midway through the Men's Rumble.
Right.
I left Legends. Just, a couple of things were happening on Sunday. I had to go home. But once I left, I went and watched, the whole thing. I knew Drew was going to win. I was just like, if Drew doesn't win, Roman's going to win, but I think Drew's going to win.
Right.
And what ended up happening was I watched that and I'm just like, dude, that was great. Like, I saw the beginning, so when Brock was pretty much dumping everybody out and dumping people out. And I thought that was brilliant. I thought the spot with Kofi and Big E and Rey Mysterio was brilliant. Brock was so tired.
OD.
This guy was sweating bullets. He was like he was sweating like a Shane McMahon sweat. Because Shane McMahon, when he gets in that ring, Shane McMahon is like
drenched
in. It looks like you just hosed Shane McMahon down. Brock looked so tired. He got dumped out by Drew and just laid on the ground.
He just laid on the ground
It was fun. But yeah, left midway through. So caring about it, it was definitely dope. Definitely dope to see Drew win. I definitely, again, feel like it was definitely his time.
Yeah.
So
I'm glad they pulled the trigger on Drew. I feel like Drew is finally starting to feel his groove. I feel like the crowd loves him. I feel like him versus Brock is going to be a good match at Mania. I just think that it's his time, and I'm just glad that they pulled the trigger on Drew. But the number 1 moment of the night comes as no surprise because it was the return of Edge. The WWE Hall of Famer made his long-awaited return as the number 21 entrant in the 2020 Men's Royal Rumble, and I just need your thoughts.
So again, I didn't actually get to see this live and in color, but I knew it was gonna happen.
Right.
Because he was being very irritating with his, it's not happening. I'm not coming back. Dude, you speared Elias at SummerSlam. If you didn't want people to think you were coming back, then you should not have speared Elias at SummerSlam. So I definitely think that it's incredible. It definitely to see Bryan come back 2 years ago, right? And now Edge come back. I'm sure it definitely gives somebody like Paige hope.
Absolutely.
And somebody like Nikki Bella hope that they can one day come back.
Right.
Because to this day, we were robbed of seeing Nikki and Brie Bella, the original women's tag team,
As the women's
in
tag team
the
champion.
in like kind of the era from 2010 to now.
Right.
To not see them get the women's tag team championships, that kind of sucks,
Right.
you know? And also, I feel like we were robbed of a Nikki Bella Raw or SmackDown women's title reign, but that's another story.
That's a whole other story.
And then also, you know, Paige, somebody whose career ended so abruptly because of just a, you know, coming back too early and just, you know, kind of a wrong place, wrong time situation.
Right.
And because of what happened with her neck back in 2016, and then everything that kind of followed that, I think it sucks. Like, but I definitely think it gives somebody like Paige hope that she'll be able to soon come back and, you know, wrestle again, which I hope so too. I mean, again, before, like, I was all in on the Four Horsewomen, Paige was like
The one.
the girl. Like, Paige was one of my
she was
favorites.
sis.
Like, she was, I think, the first WWE shirt I bought with my own money because I just loved how different Paige was. She wasn't like everybody else, you know, and that's why I loved her so much. So it was just that with Paige. But as far as you know, Edge being able to come back, you know, that's insane to me. Like, I definitely marked out a lot. I watched the replay and I saw him and I was just like, you definitely see that he's just like, he almost got choked. He got a little choked up right there.
There was a point in time, like, after his music hit, and he went on one side and told the crowd to get hype, and told the other side, and he was just like walking out. You just saw it in his face that he was just like, "This is happening. Like, I'm here and I'm back.
Like, I'm back."
And it was just like such a heartwarming moment to see, especially when you're coming back, because you have those doubts, like, are people going to remember me? Are people going to appreciate me?
Right.
But when his music hit, that crowd popped. That crowd popped. I think the only crowd pop that I heard that was very similar to that was the Hardys coming back at Mania 33.
I think
I'm pretty sure that that pop is a lot greater because it was a Mania pop and it was the Hardys, but Edge's pop was just as great.
That one is crazier. And I know I was in the building for that. That one was insane. Like, I don't think I've heard a louder pop in, like, that is probably like a really close second or third as far as like pops go in the last 5 years.
Right.
But I don't think anything's really topping that Hardy Boys pop. But no, honestly, just Edge is everybody's childhood. Because Edge transcended like 2 different generations.
Legit.
Or almost pretty much 3 different generations of WWE. You know, the early, mid-90s?
Late 90s.
Late 90s, mid to late 90s, right?
And then you go into early 2000s.
And then in the 2000s, he had that whole like run in the 2000s when he became, you know, a top guy and a top star and won Money in the Bank, and, you know, his never-ending feud with John Cena, which was always great, and then Rated RKO, and then Edge versus John Cena again, and then Edge versus Big Show, and then, you know, Edge was one of the original villains. Like, I hated that guy.
I think it's hated him.
But that means he did his job correctly.
Exactly.
Like, I hated him.
Edge and Undertaker, you can't forget that feud either.
Edge, thank you. Edge and
Taker.
Undertaker at 24, WrestleMania 24.
Yeah,
they made it into
24.
that show.
Yeah.
Like, you just, like, Edge is just one of those guys that will forever transcend. He kind of transcends the business at this point,
right?
Because of how many eras he was a part of and how many huge moments he was in and how many things he's just done. Amazing. So to see him back and then to have my heart in my asshole after Randy Orton beats the ever-loving hell out of him the next night.
But that means we're going to get a Mania match. And to be honest, I would love to see an Edge-Orton Mania match. If Orton and AJ could have a good build-up to the match that they had, and AJ kind of lacks on the mic.
We couldn't really see that match.
Yeah, we could because of the light. And hopefully it'll be different this year.
Funny.
But
I don't think it will. It's an outdoor arena.
Yeah. But if the Edge, if the Randy AJ feud was built up the way that it was and it was that good, and AJ struggles on the mic, imagine what it's going to be with Edge and Orton. It's going to be fantastic.
I thought that it would be an Edge AJ match. I definitely think we're getting that though.
AJ is injured. AJ is injured.
No, I know that. But seeing the spot right?
Right.
There was a specific spot they had when Edge dumped him out. Before knowing about Edge dumping Randy, because when I went home and went and woke up the next morning, I watched the men's Rumble. So like kind of in watching it in order and seeing AJ, because I think Edge dumped AJ, right?
I think so, yeah.
Edge dumped AJ, so I was like, oh, that would be a very interesting match.
That would.
Edge versus AJ Styles. Like that's a match that we've literally never, ever, 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 ever in life gotten before.
And we never thought we would see.
And never thought we would see because
Edge was
AJ was Mr. TNA and Edge was WWE, you know, and then Edge was forced into retirement. But my point is, at WrestleMania, I'm going to be in the building for Edge's return match. That's the point. That's
it.
That's it. Edge's return match. I think I might cry. Like, and this time I'm not going to sneak down and get a seat because I need to experience every emotion. And I couldn't do that when I was constantly looking back and forth, wondering if somebody would ask me where my ticket was at. You know, I can't do that this year.
Stay in your damn seat.
I'm gonna stay in my own seat this year.
But anyway, those are our 3 hot spots for the past Royal Rumble. If you have any other memorable moments, be sure to comment below and tell us if we're missing.
I definitely think a memorable moment, real quick, was where the hell was Sasha Banks? I was done after the rest of the night. I was like, Sasha's not in the Rumble. The minute I heard Shayna Baszler's music, I was like, okay, I'm done. I'm done. I don't want to be here anymore. I'm done. Sasha was supposed to win.
You stayed though. I mean, Sasha wasn't, but
No. I said what I said. Okay, Sasha was supposed to win.
okay. But anyway, if you guys have any more memorable moments,
I'm tired of listening to Davy Jones' Locker and his little scoops.
if you have any more memorable moments, be sure to comment below and let us know. All right. And the next segment that we have is called "What We Not Gonna Do," and it's a pretty self-explanatory title because it's essentially we're gonna describe a situation what happened on Facebook. Give me the damn phone. Oh no.
Y'all have to stop.
But
y'all have to.
What we not gonna do? What we not gonna do is a segment explaining a situation that's happening in wrestling, and also elaborating on what we not gonna do going forward. So we have a situation including Naomi, and I don't have all the details. So Angie, you need to fill us in.
Okay, sorry. Facebook, y'all just have to stop. I love Facebook comedians. All right, so as we all know, Naomi, like I said earlier, went very viral after her return at the Royal Rumble this year in the Women's Rumble. They, of course, you know, she had her, I don't want to call it her Kofi spot, but I guess I'm going to call it that because there's really no other name. Like her super athletic, really cool spot, which is like what Kofi was doing for the last kind of 10 years.
Absolutely.
And this was actually the first year, fun fact, this was the first year he didn't do anything like that.
Yeah.
Oh, wait, hold on. Pause. We got to go back to hotspots real quick. And let me tell you why.
Nigga, we already went.
No. The spot between Mandy and Otis?
Was
Are
mad
you
funny.
kidding me?
That was mad funny.
That spot was great.
But is it above Naomi?
No.
Or Drew?
It's like 4.
It's Ed or Ed.
That spot was great. She rolled out of the ring and she literally laid on top of Otis. I was like, that was perfect. Perfect spot. Anyway, all right, I'm out of hot spots now.
We're not giving you a drink the next time we do this show.
What do you mean you're not giving me? This was nothing.
There was nothing, but
Please.
here we are. But continue with Naomi.
Anyway, so Naomi went viral. Now, Brian Alvarez, as we all know, of Wrestling Observer Network, along with Vinny, I don't remember his last name, but Vinny something, and their friend, which I don't know his name at all, because I don't remember. They were doing their annual Royal Rumble review, which they always do reviews after every pay-per-view.
Right.
And they were describing the Women's Rumble, which, listen, they're going to have their opinions. They're going to say how they feel about the Rumble. That's fine. I didn't necessarily agree. I actually thought this Rumble was one of the better. And we've only had 3 Women's Rumbles. I actually thought this year's was like comparable to the first year's. Like it was really good.
Right.
You know? They were describing Naomi's spot, and, you know, they kind of said a few words that weren't really, like, you know, they didn't really like the spot. Some of them kind of thought it was cool, but it was kind of dumb.
Right.
Which I don't disagree with, because it was like she kind of ran down the steps, and it was just like, oh, I just thought it was mad funny. Like, why are you running down the steps? But it was super cool. And it's just like, dude, like, she's a black woman getting her shine. Leave her alone. Thanks. Well, the friend, who I don't remember his name, said, kind of called her a couple of little, words that were a little bit unfair. And so Naomi somebody tweeted it at Naomi, and Naomi responded and said, listen, you don't have to like me. You don't have to like what I do. But to call me names, that's just rude. And I agree with her. You don't have to call her a name. Like, if I'm saying that I don't like something that he's doing, like, if I don't like a segment that he does, I'm not going to say, oh, you stupid mother, oh, you idiot, and the segment was stupid, and you just kept doing that. No, I'm not going to say that. I'm going to go, I don't really like that. Because that's how I speak, and he knows how I speak. We've known each other for mad long.
Right.
My point is, you don't disrespect somebody like that, because you wouldn't want it to happen to you.
Exactly.
Now, listen, people gonna hide behind their video cameras and their Twitters and this Bird app. People love hiding behind this Bird app and hiding behind other people's pictures.
I hate you.
Don't let this Bird app get you smacked in 2020.
Don't
let this Bird app get you smacked in 2020. My point is, then it became this whole big thing of, oh, it's a Twitter outrage, and the snowflakes are always outraging. So now Naomi's a snowflake because she doesn't want to be called derogatory term.
Yeah.
Excuse me. And she did a spot that I'm sure a bunch of white men, because newsflash, WWE is full of a bunch of middle-aged white men.
Wrote for
They
her.
all wrote that for her, or they planned it for her, or she had the plan and they approved it. And it was a cool spot, And I'm sure it was one of those situations where she was waiting for her cue. I mean, these matches are planned to a T.
Right.
And this is the third Women's Royal Rumble. Versus how many men's Royal Rumbles have we had at this point? 30-something? You have got to, these matches are planned to a T. You gotta cut them some slack. I would understand getting annoyed at spots being done after the 10th Rumble because you've had 10 tries.
But it's like, this is number 3.
Try number 3. And you gotta give them something.
Yeah, you got to give them grace. Like,
Give them grace.
And it's just like, I kind of agree with what Nick's saying. I mean, like, you're not gonna like anything, and you're not gonna like everything that every wrestler does,
Exactly.
even your favorite wrestler. But when we begin to call people out of their names, now we're beginning to cross a line, and you're starting to be disrespectful. But I believe that this kind of reinforces this idea, this notion that in the professional wrestling, what happened on Facebook? I want to know. You know what? I'm just gonna keep talking. So this kind of reinforces the idea that there is a lack of respect for women of color in professional wrestling. And because it just always seems like there is this willingness to disrespect and to attack women of color, and it's just unacceptable. So what we're not going to do in 2020 is disrespect black women for no reason.
And what we're not going to do is let this Bird app get people messed up.
Exactly. So if you like the segment of what we not going to do, be sure to comment below. Tell us how you feel about this Naomi situation. And yeah.
All right, quick commercial break. Bim, 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 bim. 1,000 Jamaica air horns go off because we're on Flatbush Avenue right now.
Not the 1,000. Not the 1,000.
All right, so quick commercial break, like I said. So my friend, because I love her so much, Faye Jackson, like we said last week, is doing a battle royal during WrestleMania weekend, and I'm going to give you the information. A battle royal, yes. And guess who's just been announced for this battle royal?
Who?
Crime Time.
Really?
Crime Time. Faye Jackson presents the Gray Sweatpants Battle Royal at the Coppertail Brewery.
Brewery.
There, thank you. The Coppertail, what he just said.
Brewery.
In Tampa, Florida, Saturday, April 4th, 2020 at 10 p.m. So it's after TakeOver, or a little like during the very end of TakeOver. So you have a little bit of time to get there. I don't know how far it is from Amalie Arena, but if you want to get your tickets, go to graysweatpants.eventbrite.com. Like I just said, Crime Time was just announced for it. Who else has been announced for it? I see Crime Time. I see Crime Time again. There's more people. There's mad people that's been announced for it. Like, there's mad people coming. It's going to be super, super lit. I am going to go and support my friend. Also, our friend Janelle from HR, from the Jobber Tears podcast, will be doing commentary on that show, so make sure you guys support.
Please.
And speaking of the Jobber Tears podcast, At January 4th, I believe was the day, at
Battle Club
One
Pro.
for All, Battle Club Pro, they announced that they will be doing their first ever wrestling show, Jobber Slam, July 4th, 2020, with Battle Club Pro. If you're looking for more information, please make sure you go follow Jobber Tears on Twitter and on Instagram and on Facebook. Join their Facebook group, which is also really funny
Oh, yeah,
and
it
fun.
is. It's literally jokes.
Yeah, Sir Wilkins will be wrestling in his debut match against me. No, I'm just playing. He'll be
Yo.
wrestling against Simon Miller from
What Culture Pro Wrestling?
Culture? I literally was about to say Culture 316. He's not from Culture 316
At all.
Simon Miller from What Culture, which is going to be pretty cool. They're both really, really muscular and really bald. So it's going to be fun. It's going to be a fun match. I'm definitely going to be there. Are you going to be there?
I'm probably going to be there.
He's probably going to be there too. I'm definitely going to be there. I have to go support. And yeah, maybe one day I'll get my match against Sir Wilkins when I finally train.
Finally. But we're going to go into the last segment of the show from here. And it is called Big Up, where we salute something dope and new and fresh in the world of professional wrestling. So this week, we want to big up the National Wrestling Alliance. They've been on fire because of their show that has been aired exclusively on YouTube. NWA Power has definitely brought that old school feeling back to the professional wrestling landscape. But we're going to big up the NWA for their representation in multiple championship pictures, because this past weekend, the NWA crowned Ricky Starks as their new NWA World Television Champion and Thunder Rosa as their new Women's World Champion, making her the first ever Mexican woman to hold the title. Both wrestlers are of Latinx descent. We also see people like Homicide, people like Melina, who are also involved in the NWA, Marty Bell, and they are also heavily featured. So how do you feel about this representation?
I definitely think that it looks good on NWA, considering the whole who shall not be named situation that happened back in December.
Kim Jornet?
Like I said, him who shall not be named, situation that happened back in December of last year, or was it December, November, something like that?
Yeah, something like that.
And I definitely think it's good for them. You know, I think that it's good that they are putting, more people of color in the forefront.
Right.
And, listen, people of color are dope. Just put all the black people on.
Literally.
And just put all the black people on. Nobody is making you laugh more than R-Truth right now.
Literally, nobody.
You know what I'm saying? And not to go back to WWE, but you know what I'm nobody's making you laugh more than R-Truth right now. So put all the black people on. Put all the black people, put all the Latino people on, Latinx people on. Just put them on.
Put them on.
And watch.
That's it.
Your shows is going to be lit.
But yeah, to kind of piggyback off of what Nick is saying, I definitely think this is a step in the
You
right
keep calling me
direction.
by his name. That is
Angie.
not my name.
Oh, I forgot. I didn't want to call you by your slave name. I definitely want to big up the NWA for their moves that they're making, especially in light of that situation of the man who shall not be named. I love the diversity. I love the inclusion, and I feel like it's not forced. It definitely feels natural and organic because the talent that they have on that program is legit. I love what NWA is doing. I love the inclusive nature. I love how diverse it is. I love how there is something for literally everyone. I love how they're making wrestling believable, and you can't say that about every single wrestling promotion. But I love the representation, I love the inclusion, and I love the diversity of everything. And it's something that we need more of. So other wrestling promotions, please take note. But
Now we just need AEW to get their stuff together.
yeah, literally.
Come on, women's division.
Yeah,
We know y'all
we
got
need-
some good
we
people there,
need
but
y'all
we
to
need y'all
step it up.
Come on, Papacito, Cody,
Papacito. Well, technically, we got to talk to Kenny about that because he's the one that's running the women's
Kenny.
division. So Kenny,
all y'all, all y'all.
We need-
Tony, Shad, all y'all.
you said Tony Shad.
Isn't his dad's name Shad or Sean or
I
Shaw?
don't know. I don't think
Something
it's Sean.
with an S. His dad's name is something with an S. Something Khan. Khan. We go just going Khan because I don't know your name, and I should probably know your name, but I don't know your name. Come on, get your son. Tell your son to tell Kenny and all them.
To get it popping.
We need the women's to get it popping. The women's, all them women's.
But
We love to see it.
but anyway, so if you
Black people.
If you love the representation too, we want you to comment below. But that closes out our show for this week.
Short show for this week.
Short
because
show.
We've been
out
hammering
here.
these hour-long shows to y'all.
Yeah, we need a break from that. And I also, we need a break.
So,
but
moral of the story is, working is ghetto.
it is ghetto.
I'm tired of y'all getting crazy.
What else?
And don't let this bird app get
you smack
up.
in 2020?
Period.
Thank you guys so much for tuning in. We'll see you guys next week.